Good morning and welcome back to the 24/7 Sports YouTube channel. I'm Steve Wiltfong and you're here for another announcement from one of the nation's top high school football prospects. This time it's Tomarrion Parker from Phenix City, Alabama Central High. He's the number 6 defensive lineman in the country, number 45 overall. 38 and a half career sacks for Tomarrion Parker down to Florida, Clemson, Tennessee, and Penn State. Let's go live to Central High as TJ Parker makes his college decision.
Ms. Loper, for helping me out and getting me back right whenever I was hurt. And then from that being said, I'll be spending the next 3 to 4 years at Clemson University. Ever since, I spent my first time at Clemson, ever since we started talking my sophomore year, man, I've always felt the love from Coach Hall and Coach Sweeney. It's just been a vibe from there. My family, we always loved it, and that was my first ever visit when it came to school. And I always knew that once I got the offer from Clemson, I'll go. Some things changed. The process was delayed. Some things happened, but at the end, Clemson offered, and it's my dream school, so I went. So thank you guys.
Anybody would like to get pictures, y'all go ahead and come on up, get pictures, get all the things we want. That's how easy and quick it goes.
Clemson lands Tomarrion Parker, top 247 defensive lineman from Phenix City, Alabama Central High. He's the number 6 defensive lineman in the top 247 player rankings, number 45 overall. The Tigers move up one spot from number 10 to number 9 in the 24/7 Sports Composite team recruiting rankings. And the strength of this class is on the defensive line, and they're going to need it with the turnover that they could have from one of college football's best fronts. After this season, Tomarrion Parker joins a class that already includes fellow 24/7 Sports Composite top 100 players in Peter Woods and Vic Burley. They also have 4 stars to Phylon Green and A.J. Hoffler in the fold. Tomarrion Parker, 38 and a half career sacks, 6'4", 250 pounds. This is a young man that can bring some versatility to you across the front. Another high motor player that checks all the boxes with tangibles and intangibles that Clemson looks for when they recruit players up front. For more on Tomarrion Parker's decision to play for Clemson, let's bring in Clemson 247 insider Anna Adams for more.
Yeah, Steve Parker. I mean, he's kind of the cherry on top to an already terrific defensive line haul for Clemson. The 6th man, 3 tackles, 3 ends, and arguably one of Parker's best traits is not even on the field. It's off the field that his graduation status is going to be a mid-year enrollee and the only one in terms of the ends that are coming in for Clemson in 2023. And that's important because, like you mentioned, Clemson could potentially be losing their entire 2 deep at defensive end after this season. So to get him in early in January, get him in the system, learning the playbook, in the weight room, go through spring ball, I think that's huge, not only for next season, but just, also his long-term career at Clemson.
Yeah, you heard Parker there say Clemson was his dream school. Had a chance to talk to him early last week about his decision to play for Clemson. And he said, I love the tradition of Clemson, just the production of defensive linemen year in and year out. And I believe Coach Lemansky Hall, that he believes in Coach Lemansky Hall, that he will get me where I want to go. Just talk about Coach Hall and the presence he's had on this recruiting class and as they put together a special defensive line class.
Yeah, I think Hall's done a great job. He's closed on a bunch of guys, including Tomarrion kind of late. And it's been a whole staff effort too. I mean, you've had Nick Eason in there, Wes Goodwin, Dabo Sweeney. So just to see that this staff can still put together a terrific defensive line haul despite the departures that they had in Brent Venables and Todd Bates. I think you just look at the production that Clemson has had at the position, the culture, the championship pedigree. And there's still a ton to love about Clemson and playing the defensive line position there, despite, like I mentioned, the staff departures.
Well, that cohesion obviously starts in the corner office with Coach Sweeney, and Parker obviously talked about that. He said the great foundation of people that Coach Sweeney surrounds himself with. So there was never a doubt that Coach Goodwin, Coach Eason, Coach Hall, along with Coach Sweeney, would certainly have a great chemistry as they go out on the recruiting trail and recruit these blue chippers. And TJ Parker was at one point committed to Penn State, reopened his process, and the first school he heard from at that point was Clemson. And he said he kind of knew right then he would end up being a Tiger. Took some visits to Clemson and joins this class, Anna, again, that ranks number 9 nationally. Put a bow on it. What does this mean for Clemson? Who do you think Clemson could land moving forward as they finish out this 2022 or 2023 recruiting cycle?
Well, Clemson's always they prioritized everyone on the trail, but quarterback, wide receiver, and defensive line. And I think as long as those positions, they continue to recruit those positions at a high level, they're positioned well going forward. And to close out the class, sometimes Clemson's kind of done this time of year, but that's not the case this season. They're still looking at wide receiver, which they could add later this week when Tyler Brown announces a decision, an in-state guy. Running back, they need someone there, and then safety as well. So Clemson's still looking to add down the stretch.
Well, there you have it. They added today one of the nation's best defensive linemen to perhaps the best defensive line class in the country. Tomarrion Parker is a Clemson Tiger. Please make sure you hit like and follow and subscribe on this 24/7 Sports YouTube channel for all the latest on the recruiting trail from our recruiting shows, Preps to Pro. We have our own recruiting show. I have a show, Wilt Fong Whip Around, bringing you the latest from the trail, and certainly we'll have more college commitments moving forward as this 2023 class comes to an end. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see y'all soon.